Hello, this is Carl McCarthy with your 11 o'clock news. Earlier today, on-site reporters traveled to the RPA Hugh Hartman building to check out one of the unique Janterm options.
Drills, sandpaper, plywood. What do these things have in common? We're here at the West Campus, room 102, to check out the Cajon class with Mr. Geffer and Mr. Mendel. The history of the cajon is one of the things that makes it such an appealing project for the students because it is an Afro-Peruvian slave instrument. When slaves were brought to Peru, they weren't allowed to have any instruments. So they started getting old shipping crates and pulling dresser drawers out and started creating rhythms on those instruments. So in addition to being able to create our own instruments, there's a great culture and history that we can explore through the cajon. The blueprints were quite a process actually. We built a couple of prototypes of drums and then examined each one for what was great and what could be improved. And at the last minute completely changed all of the ideas and went with something brand new.
Oh yeah. So how did we come up with the class? Basically, Mr. Mel and I have been toying with the idea of just making something that could be played as a musical instrument. It wasn't even so much that we focused on cajones. I don't know, was it last year you said, hey, let's do cajones?
Yeah, it's been about a year in the works.
Year plus, and yeah, so the cajon was kind of a vehicle for us to make an instrument because it's just a box. We figured we could do that. We could make a box.
Materials for the cajon are actually very open. It can be built out of just about anything. Historically, it was whatever was available to the people building it. We chose to use 1/2-inch birch plywood because it's very accessible to us. You can buy it at Home Depot. And the front playing surface of our cajon, which is called a tapa, is actually donated to us, and it was 1/8-inch plywood. Other than that, we used a little bit of pine for some bracing boards and just some screws and glue. So it's about the most simple set of materials that is available. So this is our prototype. This is our second prototype cajon, and we've taken the top out of the playing surface off to show you the innards. These snare wires are actually half of a snare drum snare that we went ahead and cut apart, and it's mounted to a dowel so that the snare can be on in its forward surface, or it can be turned to be off, to not make a snare sound. You can see that it really is just a crate.
My favorite part of the cajon building class is being able to, at the end, have an instrument that I've completely put so much work into because I feel like I'll have a new respect for the instrument.
My favorite part of the class is building something that I'm going to have respect for and something that I can add to my instrument collection. My favorite part of the class is probably being able to work together with people to create things that make music with people and be able to bring something home at the end of the Janterm.
For me to take this class is I've always been a percussionist and I really like drums, and I also like building things by hand and having things that I've made by hand. I don't know, just the whole aspect of the class really attracted me to it.
Musical background. I play 17 plus instruments, and now I can add one to my list.
My musical background is I play drums, piano, those are my two main instruments, but I also dabbled in like the ukulele, and I don't know, I've always kind of been around music and I really love it.
I have no musical background, basically. Just violin in 4th grade.